Israel is home to 140 new high-tech companies each year. The challenge, of course, is getting all of those companies to list on the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. It's a challenge that the CEO, Yossi Bienart, hopes to meet. Good to talk to you today.
Talk to you. Happy to be here.
You have plenty of companies that list on the stock exchange, but not all of them. What is it that prompts some of these companies to list at the NASDAQ or elsewhere?
I think that if a company reaches a stage and it's large enough and its ecosystem is in the US, it's perfectly legitimate and they should go where they get the best evaluation and the best connection to the customers. What we should concentrate on in Israel is for the companies that are not yet at that stage, they're smaller. They need the capital between maybe the B and the C round, and at that point, sadly, some of them exit for the wrong reasons. If they did the exit because they found a good opportunity, great. But we should make the market fit for small and medium-sized enterprises that grow quickly. And in that way, they would come, they would list, and if they become very large, if they're successful, if they choose to go to the States after that, that's great.
You do have some initiatives underway to try to make that happen. How are those initiatives being met, and is there any concern, given the recent election, that some of those plans might not move forward as you like?
The plans have been put in place last year, and they have to do with two sides. First, help for the companies. Specifically, we'll allow them to report in English because they face the world. We'll allow them to do US GAAP as their accounting practice. We'll provide analysis by sponsoring a firm that will look at those companies and give information about them, and some relief for investors as far as taxes are concerned. I have absolutely no doubt that the new government will do exactly the same. We spoke to a lot of the people that will form the new government. The plans, if you look at them, you say, how come we didn't think about it before? They encourage jobs, they encourage good jobs, they make sure that those companies that once they get sold don't turn into R&D centers, so it's basically good for everybody. So I think it will be really, really good, and the new government will do it.
What do you do about liquidity? Investors who are concerned about liquidity and feel perhaps that they'll have better investments elsewhere?
It is a concern, there's no doubt. We're looking at making maybe better market-making plans, and additionally, when you calculate and launch ETFs on indices on the exchange, it increases liquidity. And today we're doing one called Biggie Tech here in the United States, and this will help because whoever launches the index and creates the ETF on it has to cover themselves on the underlying equity, and it will increase the liquidity.
What are you seeing in terms of foreign investment coming into Israel, coming into publicly traded stocks? Do you need more companies, or do you need more investment, or both?
I think we need more companies because the Israeli pension system is vast and is growing very quickly. And one of the problems we're facing is that we don't have enough merchandise. Of course, foreign exposure is great, and I'll be delighted when they come, but I have to fulfill the need of both the local investors and the foreign ones. So I'll be happy with both.
Why, though, from the company perspective, would there be a rush to list when there are exits in the private market, for instance, and you don't have the scrutiny, of course, when you stay away from the public market?
I think it has a lot to do with the motivation of whoever is running the company or the investors are. So you do see quite a few entrepreneurs that it's their second round. They did the small exit or medium size or even a large exit, and now they say, I want to become a large company. I want to be the next Mobileye, the next Checkpoint. So it's a very different challenge. So given a choice of exiting again or maybe growing the company to be a world-class enterprise, they may choose actually to do this, and I want to support them when they're smaller to do the initial raising via the Israeli capital markets as an IPO.
Would you like to get a dual listing of one of the big companies in the US, one of the big tech companies? Would that help you?
Well, dual listings help, but we have a plan in place, which hasn't been approved yet, to do something that the world does. If you look at American companies, they trade elsewhere. They trade in Frankfurt, they trade in Switzerland, they should trade in Tel Aviv. So the regime of dual listing may not be necessary. We should just trade them. It doesn't really matter where they listed, we should just trade them. We can clear them in the United States and everybody's happy.
Yossi, thanks so much for your time.
Happy to be here, thank you.